words about the lady you see in the statue with her child over yonder. That lady's name is Anne Hutchinson. She would have come over here in the 1630s from England. The town was founded in 1630 itself. She is a very intellectual woman who likes to study her Bible. She's living in a time when females were not to indulge in such pastimes whatsoever, except to do what they're told and obey their husbands, etc. She will have invited her girlfriends to study the Bible with her. They are very impressed with her belief system. They in turn invite their husbands. This lady, in the fullness of time, develops a following of people who like to hear what she has to say. Unfortunately for her, in a sense, what she has to say is in contradiction to what John Winthrop and the other Puritans are saying and believing. John Winthrop and the Puritans believed in what was then known as the Covenant of Deeds. What that entails was Christ, God had made a covenant with Adam and Eve. Because they had disobeyed and broken that covenant, now the only way they would get into heaven was by their deeds, busting their hump. Difficult to get into heaven. Anne Hutchinson had a different belief system altogether. She believed that because Christ had come down, died on the cross, he was now introducing a new covenant to mankind. That covenant says that once you accepted his grace delivered by the Holy Spirit, that in itself was enough to get into heaven. That was heresy to the Puritans. They will have put Anne Hutchinson on trial for heresy. They will have taken a passage from the Bible to portray her as being guilty. She will be able to take 3 passages proclaiming her innocence. In the course of the trial, she was holding her own till 2 significant events happened. Her friend, Mary Dyer, had a child, and Hutchinson would have served as midwife. That child had a blemish that was used as a stick in which to beat her because it was a sign from the devil that this lady was no good. What really lost her case, though, however, was when she said she was inspired by God to do such and such. She did not even get a chance to finish her sentence because God is not in the business of inspiring. He is very straightforward. He writes down in the Bible what he says, what he means, what he wants. Nothing else, black and white. That meant she was guilty. She was expelled from the colony. She went down to Rhode Island, where she founded a town called Portsmouth. She eventually ended up in Long Island, where she was killed by a group of Indians, herself and 6 children of hers and 5 more people. That was the end of Anne Hutchinson. She was a lady perhaps 200 years ahead of her time. Some people I've heard describe her as the original woman's liver or women's liver. That is the story of Anne Hutchinson.